What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego back with some more boxing. So, in case you guys haven't heard, Floyd Mayweather, he's doing a promotional tour. Just touched down earlier this morning in South Africa. He's doing the promotional press conference and tour, and he's in South Africa right now. So, some people reached out, hit me on Instagram, hit me on here, left comments, sent me the video, and that kind of thing. I guess I want to hear the Ego thoughts. He did do a press conference. I've seen the video. I will try to put the link in the description. And to my knowledge, I heard that the media was advised not to ask specifically about the Pacquiao fight and or who he will be fighting in May. Those were, like, I guess, the questions that were off limit. Somehow, some way, Mayweather Pacquiao came up, and Mayweather decided to, like, enlighten us or elaborate a little bit, I guess you can say, on that particular fight. So some of you guys on here reached out and said, hey, have you seen the video? Send me the video and that kind of thing. Guess you guys want to hear the Ego thoughts. My thoughts are exactly the same as they've been for quite some time. I don't want to hear about this fight at all unless Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather have somehow, some way come to terms, sign on the dotted line, and they are fighting. It's getting to the point of ridiculousness. We are talking about this fight as if it's the boogeyman, El Kukui, some kind of tall tale that doesn't exist, some land of Narnia. This is a real fight with real people that could happen if pride is set aside, money is negotiated, whatever the fuck needs to happen. This fight can happen. We're going above and beyond. This is like the U.S. at war with Russia. Like, we're really NATO and having United Nations talks with other countries. Like, this shouldn't be this big. I know people call it the promotional Cold War and all that, but it should not be this fucking hard. This is boxing. This is a professional sport. It shouldn't be this hard. Either make the fight or don't make the fight. Personally, I don't want to hear about it if it's not going to be made. And I'm beyond it. I don't care about pointing the finger so much as it's a nuisance. It's annoying to even hear about this fight if it's not going to happen. Pacquiao, he's taken more of a high road. He has mentioned Mayweather. He has mentioned him for publicity to promote his fights. But the way Mayweather answers questions, and especially recently, it's like he doesn't give fans much to go off of. Very vague. 1 minute you'll hear him, like, post jail. He did a little jail stint. Post jail, he was almost too kind and considerate. We're like, damn, is this a new Mayweather? Did he turn a new leaf? Is he being nice and sincere? Even after Pacquiao got knocked out, Mayweather seemed to show the utmost respect. He didn't really criticize in the interviews that I seen. Pacquiao, he was just like, oh, knockouts happen in boxing, I wish him the best. And he took kind of like a high road, and I was like, oh, I was surprised that he was saying it. And then now it's like slowly reverted back to Pacquiao's a desperate dog. He needs to fight me. He wants me to solve his problems. And if you watch the clip, that's basically what he's saying. Pacquiao's desperate. And I agree with some of the things he's saying in terms of that. Obviously, the tide has shifted. Pacquiao has lost some steam. He's lost some probably popularity after a knockout. I talk about this all the time. Fickle boxing fans. Got knocked out. People made fun of him. And it showed in the Brandon Rios fight. Plus, Brandon Rios wasn't a certified pay-per-view star. But Pacquiao was coming off of a loss. So, again, he's not steamrolling. He wasn't on a win streak. And it showed in his pay-per-view buys with Brandon Rios. So, I agree, and I see with certain things that Mayweather's saying as far as the fight couldn't be made a couple years ago for X, Y, and Z. However, where we differ is, who cares? The fight didn't happen for whatever reason. It's still a money fight. It's still a fight that fans want to see and people have been requesting. So why can't it be made? Just make the fight. If Pacquiao sucks or whatever, he's pretty much at the end of his rope to the point where he has to succumb to really your demands. If you want the higher purse, we've already proven you are the bigger pay-per-view draw. You're still undefeated, whereas he had 2 consecutive losses and just got a win in the Brandon Rios fight. So he's no longer on an incredible win streak. So realistically, in most categories, Mayweather holds the cards, and I get that. But if for whatever reason you were not going to fight him, then why even talk about it? It's just getting old, and I'm going through the same rigmarole of like hearing the same answers. Like in the press conference in South Africa, he had the TMT South Africa edition shirt, very reminiscent of Ali when he went to fight Foreman. Even though the Ali fight, I believe, took place in Zaire, he was running through, if you watch the Will Smith movie, running through Zaire, through the streets, and they're like, Ali, Boombaye, Mayweather, Boombaye. That's what it reminds me of. But regarding this, it's like we've heard the story. We know what the fuck happened. Mayweather's talking about it. He's like, oh, I offered a fight with the drug test, the blood and urine samples. We couldn't come to terms on it. Then after that, years later, I offered him 40 million. He turned it down, won a 50-50. Now he wants to fight me. I get it. It didn't happen for whatever reason. So if it's going to continue to not happen, then let it be that. Just let it die down. Go your own career path. I just don't want to hear about this bullshit no more. Either you're going to fight him or you're not. And it's to the point where fans are tired. I can hear it. I see it in your comments. Everyone's tired. And the thing about Mayweather is he doesn't really give you a solid foundation or platform to understand his logic. Like I said, 1 minute he's showing respect to Pacquiao even after the knockout, like, oh, he'll bounce back like a true champion and blah blah blah, and he was being respectful. And then now he's a desperate dog and he needs me because of his tax woes and his financial problems. So it's like, which one is it? It's almost like dealing with someone who's bipolar. Just depending on how he feels or something, he switches his MO. And I don't know if it's a marketing ploy to get under people's skin, to get people talking and constantly contradict yourself, but it's just annoying. I'd rather him just fight Pacquiao. Okay, he's a desperate dog. Whatever you feel about him, he's not in the driver's seat. He's not equal to you. You make more money. Now fucking fight him. The end. Put it to rest. Fight him. The conclusion of that fight, and then we all move on with our life. If not, at the very least, at the very fucking least, let's just not talk about it. Let's just, you fight your own fights. Pacquiao fights the 2 fights remaining at Top Rank and be done with it. It's just, again, Mayweather doesn't give you a solid platform to understand his logic. And the way he bounces around and uses different scenarios and different examples of why the fight's not taking place, it leads people to believe that he's ducking. I personally don't think he's afraid of Pacquiao, because if anything, he should have been afraid of Pacquiao when Pacquiao was still on his incredible win streak, running through bigger guys like Miguel Cotto and Margarito. So Pacquiao's far removed from that. Pacquiao looks like he's slowing down. He's down a step. Even in the Brandon Rios fight, if you look at Pacquiao's face, I don't recall Brandon Rios even getting off with his offense, but Pacquiao's face looked kind of tattered. If you watch after the fight, he had like a lot of like redness and just a lot of, I don't know, I just don't remember him getting hit, but his face showed a different story. So if he was afraid, I don't see why he'd be afraid now, if out of all things it looks like Pacquiao's slowly on the decline. I just think he does things to fuck with people or to get under the media's skin or keep his name relevant, but it's not the best possible way, because like I said, it gives haters ammunition to call him a ducker, say he's scared, say he's ducking, because you're all over the fucking place and bouncing around with, oh, I'll never work with Bob Arum. Pacquiao's a desperate dog. Oh, he's a true champion. Oh, he's like, you know what I mean? It's always a different fucking story, and no one knows your truest thoughts. No one knows why this fight is not happening. So me personally, if I was Al Heyman or Ellerby or fucking Floyd Sr. or Roger, I would be in his ear just like, yo, let this shit die down. If you're not going to fight him, don't fight him. And don't give these haters any ammunition. The way you do that is to take it away by stop talking about it. Just don't talk about it altogether. Especially when you're trying to make lesser fights like Amir Khan. If you're trying to make Amir Khan but shitting on Pacquiao, it doesn't really make sense, because if we did a survey right now, if I did an ego poll 2.0, guarantee you more people would say they will pay the pay-per-view bill to see Pacquiao versus Mayweather finally happen, as opposed to Amir Khan, who looks suspect against Julio Diaz. And that's a fact. I could do the poll right now. So again, at the very least, if you're not going to fight the dude, just don't talk about it. I think you should just get it over with, prove you're the best, fight him, and we all live to see another fight and see another day and all that. I just feel like it's getting to the point where it's really redundant and repetitive, We know what happened in the early negotiations. Why? Because we wanted to see it and we all followed this fucking fight. So we know Team Pacquiao didn't want to do the drug test, and we know you offered him 40 million. We understand that you tried to make the fight, but the fact of the matter is you're about money. People still want to pay to see this fight for whatever fucking reason. You're still saying, "Oh, I'll never work with Bob Arum," or "I'll never do this." Just stick to one reason. Like, if you'll never do business with Bob Arum, then why didn't you just say that from the beginning? Because recently, at least the interviews I've seen with Arum, he ain't even been going off like he has in the past. Before I seen, I think he was at the Yankee Stadium. He did an interview a long time ago, and Arum was being asked about Mayweather, and he was shitting on Mayweather. He was just like, he's a boring fighter. Nobody wants to watch a boring guy that run. Like, he was just going in. But recently, I've seen Bob Arum saying Mayweather's gifted. He's gonna beat Canelo. I've seen him in interviews bigging up or giving credit to Floyd Mayweather. So, out of all possible times, why didn't you say you wouldn't work with Arum in 2008, 2009? And when Arum has been kind of off your back a little bit, he hasn't been slandering you and stuff, probably because he needs you, you're saying you won't work with him ever again. So it's just like so many different reasons why the fight is not taking place. Just let us know what it is. Either fight him or don't fight him. And if you're not going to, then let's not talk about it. I personally think you should just fight him. Show why this fight should have never happened or why you would beat him or whatever, man. I just don't want to talk about it anymore. And I feel like I'm wasting time just doing this video. There's other great fights, and yet again, we're still talking about the theatrics behind a fight that hasn't taken place since fucking 2008. Some of y'all graduated in 2008 and are probably going to your high school reunion and shit, and this fight still hasn't taken place. So I'm frankly getting tired of it. Really let me know what you guys think. That's really all I gotta say. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, is Ego signing off.